Yes. Okay, so Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, real quick, because we don't want to do it, non-spoiler review. For better, definitely go watch it. Like, what are you doing? Probably the best Marvel thing since No Way Home.
Oh, so good.
As good as the first one. We just rewatched the first one. It just feels of more of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, if you like the first one, you like this one, Toby.
Yes, definitely for better. If you're an emotional person, parts will make you cry. You will not be sobbing. If you're sobbing, I feel like you're a little too connected.
It's not as sad as I was told it was going to be.
Right. And I thought like I'd need tissues, but like, no, I held it together.
You just had popcorn.
I had popcorn and I just blew into that.
I thought I was going to pee a lot because I got that giant drink and I held it together.
He did. He also held it together until the end.
In my pants.
As embarrassing next to a pregnant woman who waited till she got home. So
good job.
Yeah.
You did a good job.
I'm better than
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, women are better.
Well, we'll talk about that in this week.
Women are better.
Okay, so that is the non-spoiler review. Just go see it, come back, listen to us for 4 hours, or however long this episode is. You're going to love it. Okay. So I guess the first thing I kind of want to say here in talking about this movie is that it's so, by the way, spoilers for everything.
Spoilers!
Okay, so I was right. I had predicted that he was going to die because of a disease. I was right. It's also how he died in real life, which is sad. I know. Thank you.
Oh, not that part.
Because I thought it'd be really stupid if they're gonna like kill him off screen with like a villain battle. So like, I'm happy they like.
It also really helped like Shuri's arc. Like she kept saying like, I can fix it. I can fix it.
Yeah.
So like that was also
big Superman thing too, where like Superman's dad traditionally dies from a heart attack, and like no matter how powerful Superman is, he like can't save his dad.
Oh, how sad!
So, no matter how smart Shuri was, she like couldn't save
which was
T'Challa.
Right, so sad.
Yeah. So anyway. I find it's going to be difficult to criticize this movie because, and again, we said it's not as sad as we thought it was.
Yeah.
But it definitely has that kind of like mourning, funeral kind of vibe to it. Like this movie is in mourning for the most part, right? Like everybody is dealing with the death of T'Challa. The actors and the director and Ryan Coogler are clearly dealing with the death of Chadwick Boseman. So it's kind of hard to do. It would feel like going to someone's funeral and like criticizing the funeral procession.
Right.
And like, oh, that's an ugly hearse. Like,
I would say fortunately.
It's like, what are you doing?
Fortunately, this was great. So there's not much to like.
Fortunately, we're mean and we're going to criticize it anyway.
Oh,
this movie sucked.
Sucked. I hated it.
Yeah, hated it. So
Gino did not sit on the edge of his seat for half of the movie.
I did. I was really well because those seats aren't that comfortable in the IMAX theater.
No, you can't
go there
recline them yourself.
Yeah. Definitely see this on the biggest screen you can. I guess we should have mentioned this in the non-spoiler review, but the CGI in this movie is so much better than in the first Black Panther. The first Black Panther had terrible CGI. We just talked about She-Hulk so much, and the CGI was so bad. At no point in this movie was like, that's CGI, which to me is, again, good CGI.
I mean, like, the only time I was like, that CGI is like when they were riding like orcas and humpback whales, but because like you're not riding orcas and humpback whales.
I'm adding to the notes. There's another hour. I'm adding to the notes because when I remember this morning when I was criticizing the first Black Panther's fight scene at the end.
I do recall.
And then they fixed it for this one. Okay, so hard to criticize, but again, because it's a sad movie, they're in mourning, and it's not as sad as we thought. But how many times did you cry, Toby?
I cried 4 times, and let me tell you those 4 times. So the first time that got me was literally immediately in the beginning where they played the Marvel like opening where they show scenes from Marvel movies and generally to a song. They played it silently and they only showed Black Panther stuff.
Chadwick Boseman, yeah.
Right. And like that got me because I was like, oh, geez.
Did they do that when he was in
No.
What If?
No, I don't think so.
You're right. I feel like I've seen that already. Maybe that was in the trailer. But that was the one part that got me.
It was like really powerful, just like a really nice like in memoriam, like here are these great scenes that he was in, and it was silent. Oh God. I was like, oh no, if this is the first like 2 seconds.
And it's like this exactly, yeah.
Right. No, I'm not done. Another point.
God, you saw one movie with women in the main character and you're just taking
and
over.
I take over. I am a Dora Milaje. I can do spears.
You can't even walk right now.
I can. I waddle. I waddle with spears. That will be my warrior name.
Waddling with spears.
second part that got me, or at least another part, was when M'Baku was talking with Shuri, and like Shuri was like, we got to go fight them, and she's Black Panther now, and he's like, no, your mom wouldn't have wanted this, and she's like, my mom's not here anymore. It doesn't matter what she wanted, and M'Baku's like, of course, like, yes, her death matters. Like, of course it matters. Really got me on that one. I'm gonna forget one. And then the end
when he,
the end when we like learn about baby T'Challa's name.
I think the third one was when she was on the beach at the end, right? When she was on the beach and she finally burns her garbs.
No, that's an.
I didn't get you.
No.
Just when you saw the
no, it did.
Yeah, and then right after that.
And then right after that, right. So when she was seeing and remembering her brother, that made me cry. And then at the end, when we learn about baby T'Challa, I was like, oh. It was very unexpected.
I thought when they were like, just kind of for the mid-credit scene here, when he's like, can you keep a secret? I was like, he's going to be a mutant. Like, he's gonna have like powers or something.
I was like, where are your Black Panther powers?
More mutants. Yeah, no, whatever.
I know. But that was also really cute because we know that that's how they have to name themselves because we just watched the Black Panther movie. The original, right? When Michael B. Jordan was like, ask me who I am. And he's like, no. And then someone goes, who are you? And then he says his Wakanda name. So
is that
she
how that
did the
works?
same thing, right? So she said, who are you? And then he said,
I never noticed that.
Yeah, there were parallels, which was like nice. That was just one of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of here that was thrown in from like Civil War. There's a part where Shuri, when she beats Namor and she says what Black Panther said to the German guy in Civil War.
What?
Where like the Avengers have been taken over by vengeance. I will not let it consume me. She says that to Namor. Like,
and she didn't even know he said that.
How did maybe the herb told her?
And somebody brought that up. How?
Like, is it like the Avatar where you like know all the stuff about the previous avatars?
I mean, maybe, but I don't see that. And also in her vision, because Michael B. Jordan brought that up too. Like, your brother didn't kill the people that killed your dad. Yeah.
Okay.
But then Zemo, we would never have a Zemo dancing scene.
That genocidal maniac Zemo. I want more of him dancing.
Sorry.
Okay. So for those people who are like, Marvel's only comedies, not a comedy. Not even close to a comedy, not a comedy. Okay. This is not, I wouldn't say it's a dark, like DC Justice League dark movie.
No.
But it's a sad, somber, serious movie.
Yes.
And it's not funny. As a matter of fact, the only person who laughed through the entire movie was Toby.
Which, not
right
true.
When T'Challa died, she just started dying of laughter for some reason.
No, can I tell you? Okay, the funny parts that
That's
I thought.
That's a lie, by the way.
That is a blatant
lie. No, you
lie.
laughed as soon as you saw Martin Freeman. Because Martin Freeman,
because I started laughing because like when they introduced Martin Freeman, they're playing this like awesome like music, and he's listening to it.
He's on his AirPods, yeah.
And so that's really
he's
cute.
He's just a dork who runs around Alexandria, Virginia.
It was so fun. I mean, he's exercising. He's pretty old.
He's married to Elaine.
Oh yeah, like what?
What? Yeah.
And then I also laughed. Literally, most of what I'm going to call her Michonne. It's Denai. It's Okoye.
Okoye,
but I just know her as
She's
Michonne.
Great.
She did such an amazing job, and God, she has like. She only uses her face for comedy, and it's great.
Yeah, she's funny in the way that like her being so serious is funny.
It's
like
funny.
That's the joke.
Small girl.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Oh God, Riri will. Okay, so Martin Freeman was funny, fine. Like he can't even help it.
I know, it's just his like
he's
little
just funny.
face.
Yeah, he's like, I'm the Hobbit.
Even his Watson.
Whatever.
He's everywhere.
His American accent's great though. I mean, this is the third movie with him.
Good.
Yeah. Riri Williams was. I don't know anything about the character other than like she was created around the same time as like Falcon becoming Captain America and like Miles Morales coming over to the into the main Marvel universe and like Lady Thor Mighty Thor. So she's like 2012, 2013. She's a new character in the comics. She's great in this. I thought she was going to be some like weird like tech nerdy kind of like
they made her
girl
so cool.
who's like whatever. She's just like a regular girl. Like her personality.
Her name is Dominique Thorne.
She did great. Like she comes off as the realest MCU character for a while.
Right?
Just like seems like a real teenager who just like happens to be a genius.
Like, honestly, the line where Shuri was like, "Why did you build that?" And she's like, "Well, Professor told me I couldn't."
And
like,
I just did it.
And I just did it. Like, that was awesome. Oh, and then when she made her car, Gino was like, "That's a what kind of car?"
Okay, so it was either a Challenger or like a Barracuda, which is like the same car, or a Charger. It's one of those ones. It's the car that I have now, sort of. I think my uncle was literally talking about it yesterday.
Yeah.
Who listens to this podcast, so maybe he'll hear. But he's like, I'm going to put a 440 in it. I'm like, that had 440 on the side of the car.
Wow.
So it's probably a Challenger, a Barracuda, whatever. It's the same car.
Yeah.
Nice car, though. So that's her car.
That's yeah. It was like cool, cute. We had a little backstory.
I like she starts throwing like furniture at the.
Oh my God.
Okoye and the other one. Who's the main character?
Shuri,
thank you. Yeah, she just like comes off as like a regular person and like reacts in normal ways. Like when she's like scared of the Wakandans, and then she's like scared of the whatever they're called, the fish people. Like she just we going back to our Andor review. Like she just feels like a real person. But boy, I'm calling it now. I haven't checked the internet, but I'm calling it now. Fanboys are gonna be pissed that she's like a girl and she like is a teenager and she invented Stark stuff and she can make an arc reactor
Just
and
like
blah 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 blah. Like it's happening already.
So I will say, and I was on Twitter, I didn't see any negative stuff, but Twitter isn't where the negative stuff really lives.
Even new Twitter?
Even new Twitter.
Like someone didn't make an account like, I'm Riri Williams. I hate this movie.
No, but it's going to happen on YouTube. That's where you'll catch it.
Right. Well, exactly. YouTube comments is where you go for the real good misogyny. So I'm looking forward to that. Right. Okay. Next bullet here. And I guess this can go for the whole movie. Everyone in this movie acted their ass off. Like no one did a bad job in this movie.
Not one person.
Yeah. Even the killer whales and the blue whales. They did a great job.
So believable. SeaWorld would be jealous.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they didn't use real killer whale. I guess you can CGI. If you do Free Willy, would you just do a CGI whale, right?
Like nowadays,
like Free Willy the five.
Like, probably because you'll deal with like PETA and stuff. Like
right.
I would just do a CGI whale.
CGI whale, yeah,
just like the CGI rhino in the first one.
Who licked?
Which I also love that they each had their own like animals.
Yes. Anyway, so like the scene that kind of sticks out to me for like acting your ass off. Obviously, like everyone cries at some point in this movie. A lot of crying going on.
A lot of crying.
Everyone's upset. But the scene that really, like, to me shows them acting their ass off is the Queen when she basically fires Okoye. And she goes into this speech about how, like, my husband died, then my son died, now my daughter might be dead, like, I'm losing everybody, I'm the Queen. Or when she's in the UN.
In the beginning.
And they had captured those French. You know, French. We see you, the French.
Honestly, that lady trying to be like, I hear you have weapons of mass destruction.
And then like a bunch of military like, oui, give me your stuff.
I would love these weapons.
Yeah. And then she like brings them all in and she's like,
Merci.
French.
Wait, I don't know how to say thank. Merci is thank you?
Whatever.
I don't know how to say you're welcome.
Hey, whatever. It's the French. They did bad. They did bad.
Oh, so there was like a lot of French in this movie because then they go to Haiti.
Oh yeah, well, Creole. It's just kind of French.
They spoke French.
Right, but it's not like French.
All right. Well, they said merci, merci beaucoup.
I can ask my Haitian friend. He can speak Creole. Margie, if you're watching.
Oh.
Anyway, everyone acted their ass off. Shuri, which I didn't really like Shuri in the first movie. Mostly because of the like stupid like what are those stuff.
Honestly, like Shuri was
she is great in this. I mean, she's the main character.
So we were judging it because we watched Black Panther literally this weekend.
This morning, yesterday.
And like what's a little ridiculous is that like it seems that all of Wakandan tech was developed by Shuri, who's like in her 20s.
Right.
Like literally they talk about the train and she's like, oh, and I developed this. And we're like, so
you've been around for like 15 years. What are you doing?
Right. So, I mean, like, that is, I think, one of the more annoying parts about her character is just like, she just made all, like, nothing, like, who was her predecessor? Who taught her?
Yeah.
In this movie, she says her brother taught her all she knows.
I think that was more of like a philosophy.
It must be because
not like he's not smart like she
right.
is.
Like I want to know.
Although I think in the comics he's also supposed to be genius level, but Chadwick Boseman's was not. Yeah, they never showed.
No, they. I mean, I guess when did he have time to like also do science?
Yeah, he's supposed to be basically just like Batman, who happens to be a king of a nation and is a cat instead of a bat.
Meow.
Yeah, and like doesn't lose his parents. And like will kill people,
Eventually?
deaf. Like will deaf kill people if he has to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought like in the first one, she was like an annoying kid that like I didn't want around.
Oh.
In this one, she's definitely like matured and it's like her movie.
Oh yeah.
And she does a great job. The scene where she finally like cracks the Black Panther stuff
Mm-hmm.
and then she puts on the armor and then flies over to the Jabari tribe and like gives that speech. I was like, she's like, I'm the blah, 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 blah.
And like it wasn't so obvious like it was about her, which I think was nice also. Because
I mean, she's
like,
the main thing of the poster.
but there's a bunch of there's a poster with Martin Freeman on it. Like it's not about him.
But she's in the middle.
Okay, right. She's in the middle. But like it wasn't
clear from the trailers that it's like
it wasn't clear from the trailers that it was going to be about Shuri. Like obviously the Queen's gonna be in there, Angela Bassett. So like Nakia's gonna be in there. Like who's it gonna be about? And I do really like that it was about Shuri. Obviously the sister would have a lot of heaviness on her shoulders and like the fact that she like literally
failed.
She failed. She got what's his did she fix did she get the thing out? No, right?
No, because
she ran out of time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but she like fixed Bucky, she fixed Martin Freeman.
She couldn't fix her brother.
Right. So like it's really tough. So like I'm glad that it was about her.
Yeah, and like going back to everyone acting their ass off, M'Baku had an awesome scene with her that you already mentioned. Like, he was great in this. Yeah, just like everyone had like a good, like Elaine was great. She's in this randomly.
Dreyfus.
You find out that she's the head of the CIA.
Which we didn't know.
We just thought she was like a mysterious lady with purple hair. Turns out she's the head of the CIA. Also, thank you for just having it be the CIA and not like damage control or whatever.
Gino would have lost. I think Gino would have walked out of the theater.
All these stupid fake Marvel crap.
Yeah, well, it's got to be CIA because my Martin Freeman, little buddy.
Right. So he was, and it turns out they were married.
I know.
She was great. He was great. There was no one in this movie who did a bad job. Namor killed it. Who's the actor that plays Namor?
So apparently like Hollywood doesn't really know who he is. He's kind of like. He's a new name.
He killed it.
Okay, so I'm gonna get his first name wrong. Tenoch.
That's the actor's name?
Tenoch. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Okay.
Huerta is his last name. Okay. That I can pronounce.
Is he from Mexico?
He is a Mexican actor of Aztec and
yeah, so I don't know if this is true in the comics, but for this version of Namor, and I guess not the Atlanteans, whatever the hell they are. Fish people. Which is what M'Baku keeps calling him, Fishman.
I know.
They pull a lot from Mayan and Aztec, which we'll talk about in a little bit. So cool. It's in Toby's notes. All right, so just Namor was awesome. Like he apparently he's like one of the first earliest examples of an anti-hero in comics. He's from like the 30s before Marvel was even called Marvel.
Which is so crazy that like the 30s was having like an Aztec.
Yeah.
Like.
But I don't think he's not Aztec based in the comics. He's just like their version of Aquaman.
Oh
yeah, do you think all those ridiculous people from New York, your Stanley and all them, your people from no, they were not doing Aztec stuff. Yeah, please. I don't think he's Aztec in the comics.
Well, that was a great.
I think he's just an a-hole. Like he's just like a big a-hole in the comics.
Right. Well, I'm glad that they didn't do that.
Also a big a-hole here.
Yeah, but not always.
No, but that's the thing. Like sometimes he's an a-hole, sometimes he's not. He's an anti-hero.
He was, and like I think I didn't write this down, but that's what made the movie so important to me was that the stakes were so high. I didn't want anyone to die. Like I wanted.
You kept grabbing me like this.
I know. Yeah. I kept grabbing him because I was like, oh no, M'Baku's gonna die. Oh no,
he should have died. He got. Okay, so Namor is supposed to be as strong as the Hulk, which they say is a joke in this.
Yeah.
Because M'Baku wants to brag that he like didn't die, but in the comics, apparently he has beaten the Hulk before. He's that strong. He punched M'Baku straight in the chest.
He controlled it.
I thought they were gonna do like the hole in the chest thing. I was
so glad they didn't.
No, he's just like, I'm fine.
Right. Well, and then like in the scene where they're all coming out of the ocean, which was wild, and they have them all on the side of the ship, I was like, this is the cast I need to live.
Yeah.
Like, this is it.
So now, do you think that Namor was charming when he like, because I felt like that whole scene where he's showing Shuri around, like very charming.
Oh my God.
Great anti-hero. Sometimes he's nice, sometimes he's not.
And then so something I saw was on Twitter where this is coming up a lot now, and I it's one of those things where like you saw it once, you see it everywhere. Where somebody had mentioned that like it was the story of like Hades and Persephone, where I told you this before because I saw
For Namor?
yes, because I saw what was it, Hades Town, where they show this. No. Where so Hades kidnaps Persephone, brings her to the underworld. Mom gets mad, and then he like releases her 6 months. So like Namor not kidnapped, but like kidnapped Shuri, brought her to brought her down under, and like brought her around and like showed her stuff. Mom got mad upstairs and brought her back. So like it's
Tweet
just,
at Ryan Coogler, see if that was on purpose.
I won't. I could, but like
Like, hey, Ryan Coogler, call
I
him
know.
up.
Listen,
we have him on the,
Jess, if you're listening, the Latin teacher at school, like, thank you for showing me that and opening my eyes to the story.
Isn't that Greek though? Persephone and all them?
Yeah.
But she speaks Latin.
What?
She speaks Latin. Not
No, she
ancient
teaches
Greek.
Latin, but
Right.
like ancient Greek, Roman stories and stuff. Just real good content. But anyway, so like it was just like that was a great story, and yeah, he was charming.
Yeah, he's
Oh my
great. And like,
God.
I think obviously it was important for this movie to get a good villain because Killmonger was such a good villain in the first Black Panther.
Yeah,
He's
but
like
he
my
was a
favorite part of Black Panther.
villain.
Yeah,
Like-
but like you can kind of see where he was coming from.
Of course, but you don't want Killmonger to like win.
No, because he's more of like outwardly an evil guy.
He literally
than
rips off
Namor.
his shirt and shows how many people
Yeah, I
he
guess
has
he's
murdered.
a villain. Namor's an anti-hero.
Yeah, because Namor just wants to protect his people.
Yeah, but he's also gonna like do some stuff. They sent the Hulk into space. It's his fault. In the comics, he's one of the ones that sends the Hulk into space with like Tony Stark and all them and Xavier.
You don't know the
He's
comics.
Illuminati. I don't know the comics.
Mm.
I know.
Listen,
So like he's like a bad guy,
the
but like
only
not a
thing-
bad guy.
I don't like the wings.
I was just gonna say that. Okay, so as great a villain as Namor is, boy, do those wings look stupid. And every time I see them, I just think about him getting caught on something and like ripping them off.
I mean, that happened.
And then Shuri ripped it off. I was like, oh, good for her. She ripped off one of his wings. And he was like fly limping. Yeah,
It
he
was
like-
awful.
yeah. So again,
they
I
looked
think
real
the reason
stupid.
why he has wings is because they were just like, I don't know, he flies. How does he fly? Give him wings on his
Couldn't
feet.
they just like let him fly?
No, like Marvel's known for like always having to have like an excuse for why their characters know how to fly.
Ugh.
So like Silver Surfer has like cosmic powers, Thor throws his hammer, Iron Man has jet boosters,
Ugh. He's
some
got
of them
little,
use magic.
now he's got like little
He's got
wings
little
on his
wings.
feet.
So yeah, that's his mutant. So people don't know about Namor. Namor is half in the comics, he's half human, half Atlantean, but also he's a mutant. So like his super strength and his winged feet and the ability to fly is a mutant power. So in the comics, he's called Marvel's first mutant.
Oh.
But they didn't start calling him that until after the X-Men became popular
because of mutants.
because of mutants. So they're
Got
like, oh, well, he has these powers because he's a mutant. So he's Marvel's first mutant.
Makes sense.
So he's like a big, important character. He's like not like a little nothing. He apparently was like their third most popular character
Well,
in
he's
like,
still
the
in
30s
it.
and 40s.
So like, right, like I know that's one of your notes.
And they said the word mutant,
And they said the word
which
mutant,
they're allowed to say now.
but they're gonna bring him back.
Oh, he's not dead. Yeah, they're bringing
No.
him back. They have to.
I mean,
he's,
like-
he's one of the most important characters.
Right. And like he literally explains to us how he's gonna come back. Like the US, like somebody's gonna go attack Wakanda. Probably the
bots.
US because we're idiots.
Yeah, and the U.S. in this movie is not great.
Oh my God. I mean, like I guess
A bunch
like
of bumbling idiots.
buffoons.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Wakanda. I have evidence. You have no evidence that it's Wakanda. Are you kidding me right now? Go ask Wakanda. Like
Yeah.
I can't. So I'm excited to see him again.
Yeah. Did you think he was too fat?
No.
People on the internet were complaining that he was too fat.
His
'Cause he doesn't
thighs
have
were like,
I mean, like he's obviously jacked. He's probably just like not on the roids.
yeah, like leave him alone.
Everyone wants like Chris Evans and like Chris Pratt level transformations.
No, because then he would have been too much like Aquaman.
Plus, he needs a little bit of he's just a little fat to like.
Well, how about when we watch
He's underwater all the
when
time.
we watch the Black
He obviously
Panther
is not fat, by the way.
and M'Baku, I think because of his like armor, he seems
He
huge.
seems huge.
And
yeah.
then we saw him again. We're
Yeah, I
like,
guess, yeah,
oh.
he has what 5% body fat instead of 2% body
No,
fat.
I mean like he's a
Yeah.
tall guy, but like I remember him being like scary muscular.
Yeah, he's not.
and also
he's just big.
Also, so his name is Winston Duke, and right,
Is he
he's al-
American?
yeah,
Oh.
he's also in Us. I think so. Actually, let me double check.
I feel like he's got to be like British
You think so?
with a name like Winston Duke,
What do you mean,
British
Winston?
name.
Winston Duke's.
like Winston Churchill.
Oh, Trinidad and Tobago.
Is he from Trinidad and Tobago?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Shout out to St. John's University. A lot of people from Trinidad and Tobago.
But like, I need him in all the things because we've seen him as a
He was
regular person
great
in
in this.
Us,
Yeah.
and like this is like also really strong for him.
He was all, yeah. I guess he's probably one of the funnier characters in this too. Which again, definitely not a comedy. People shut up on the internet.
Right.
Okay, so obviously, if you're looking on YouTube or you know us in real life, you know that Toby and I are white, quite white. So we can't really speak to like what this movie means for people who are black, right? Like I remember when Black Panther came out. I was working in Jamaica. I was working in school with a lot of black men. It was an all boys school. So like I remember Black Panther being like a big cultural moment for like my students and like people who didn't even watch Marvel movies going to see Black Panther. It was like a big deal. Obviously, like we can't talk to that. But Toby, if you've noticed, is a woman. This is, and they kind of didn't say this at any of the press stuff, is like a very female like led movie. Like this is a female movie. Obviously, misogynists are gonna be mad, right? I'm waiting to go in the YouTube comments. But like as a woman, like how did you feel about?
I mean, it felt great. Like watch it was also a little tough because so there's if I should look it up. One of my podcasts talks about like there's a scale about like feminism for movies, like
Oh, I know this. It's the Bell something test.
something like
The
like
Bechdel test.
Bechdel, yeah.
So like if you have to have a scene of two women talking that aren't talking about a man. If this doesn't pass the Bechdel test, I mean it has to.
So that's the thing though. A lot of the time they're talking about T'Challa, and like, but not like. So I kept thinking about that. I'm like, oh, they keep talking about like T'Challa and how it affected them, but like it's their brother. It's not like they're talking about love and how they feel and oh, this person
there's
left.
not a lot of romance in this, which is nice.
It is.
I was waiting for them to make M'Baku and Shuri a thing, and then they didn't. Like, thank God.
They made him like her
Support.
her confidant
And,
support
like, yeah.
and loved it. It was just like wonderful. Angela Bassett is always really fun to watch. The first time I saw her was in American Horror Story.
Was it Angela
the
Bassett?
Queen.
Oh, she was awesome in this.
So fun to watch. She's also like a very like I feel like she like acts with her mouth, so I always end up like watching how she talks.
She freaking dies though. What the hell?
Honestly, so I wrote this in my notes, but as she's like swimming up, I'm like, one, she's not gonna make it. It's like very far, and she's swimming like I don't know, like 0.5.
Well, she has to hold Riri
So
Williams.
slow.
Yeah.
I was like, you're never making it.
That
And
scene
you-
passed the Bechdel test because neither of them were talking.
Oh boy, yeah, but Riri Williams made it. But yeah, so like a lot of women, and they're not only talking about men, but like like a lot of it happened to have been centered around T'Challa, which is of course going to happen.
Yeah, but there's also like a ton of movies. Like if you look more into the Bechdel test, there's a ton of movies that are like about women that are like feminist movies that don't pass the Bechdel test. It's not a perfect test.
Right? No.
Yeah,
And
I would say that this movie, you can't criticize this movie because they talk about T'Challa.
no, of course not.
No.
I was just like, it was just like in the back
I'm
of
just
my
like,
mind.
how do you feel for like young women who have this movie now that like is just a totally female led?
I mean, I'm sure it's like really
It's not like Miss Black Panther. It's like Black Panther.
No, right. And it's super empowering for women to see that this can, like a movie like this, especially considering what we've been talking about with like Marvel and women leads, like good God.
Right. We like crapped on She-Hulk.
We crapped on She-Hulk and we.
Would you have liked this movie if it was called She Black Panther? The CGI would have been
Black
worse.
Panther woman.
Yeah, Black Panther.
So female Black Panther. Like.
Lady Black Panther.
It's,
But like it's not okay. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. It's just I think it was different for me, just because like I'm a white woman. I see white women everywhere,
Woo.
right? So like this has to mean something for like Black women to see, like Shuri like kicking ass. Michonne, I'm sorry, Denai is her real name, Okoye.
Why did you call it by the character's name?
Because Michonne is the first thing I think of. I
Oh,
was like,
she's the sword
she's
lady from
Michonne.
Walking Dead. That show sucks, but like
Yes, now it does.
oh.
But not when she started.
You know why I didn't recognize her? Because she
got no hair. Yeah, she got, like,
I
fun
had no
dreads and-
idea.
Yeah. Why do you think I've been? What do you think? Michonne is just sounds that come out of my mouth.
That movie's dumb. That show's dumb.
It wasn't.
Whatever. She's great in this too.
She great, and so like she like Nakia is a spy. Like she's running a school where the kids like paint the walls. Like
The queen is like powerful. And Riri
Right?
Williams is fun. It's like, yeah.
so like
What are
this,
there, like 3 male characters in this? Martin Freeman, who gets like controlled by what's her face anyway,
yeah.
Elaine,
Martin M'Baku
and Namor.
and that's
Yeah, so like the rest of the cast is female.
right, which is so awesome, and the representation in this is great. Like
That's later in the notes.
I know, but I have to bring it up because we're on point. Like, you know, we're just flowing. We're flowing.
Okay, can I speak as obviously the male? Can I speak on the femaleness of this movie?
I don't know. Can you?
Yes. So obviously the internet's not a big fan of women. We've talked about this before, especially YouTube, not the biggest fans. So like I assume that somewhere in the depths of YouTube will be some idiot being like, there's so many women. And like they said a lot about that stuff. Like I think where a lot of that started for the MCU was that scene in Avengers Endgame where Spider-Man has the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah,
and then for no reason, all the women show up. And they're
no reason.
For literally no reason, all the women show up out of
Let
nowhere,
them
including
show up.
Gwyneth Paltrow. Like, why are you there?
Because she's in an Iron Man suit.
Also, the only one that needed to show up was Miss Marvel.
Yeah, but it didn't matter
She could just
anyway.
fly over and whatever. So that scene to me, again, not a woman, is kind of like in your face with like the women stuff.
That felt good. You want to know a scene that felt good for me? That scene.
Okay, fine. Again, I'm not speaking from the woman's perspective. I'm speaking from the like misogynist a-hole perspective. So they don't like that scene because it's like women, and that scares them, right? They don't like it. I think this kind of gets a pass, or might get a pass from misogynist a-holes because like his supporting cast is female.
Oh God.
And now he's dead. So they're the ones that take his place. It just kind of felt more natural. I didn't notice it being all female led until I was thinking of afterwards of like, oh yeah, like every character in this is a female.
Yeah, and not to say that this didn't mean something to me because I'm white. Like that was a misspeak. Like it meant something, but
it means nothing.
It means
0 out of 10. We're white. 0 out of 10.
Just like see, like it didn't even feel strange or like right. Like it wasn't. It was just watching amazing actors do amazing work and like really be the characters.
Yeah.
And you cared about every single one.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like a big cast.
Do you know why we cared about every single one?
Because they're good actors.
Because the guy from Get Out wasn't in it, and we don't care about him.
Oh, you know what? I noticed watching Black Panther yesterday. He really does play the same guy in every movie, including Black Panther, where he's playing a not American.
Right.
And then I was like, wait a second. Did that guy from Get Out just like do treason and then like just go back to being
fine?
No, so they mentioned in this movie he's in jail. He's in prison.
I mean, they don't like say it out, right? They're like, well,
the queen's
like
screaming. She's like, you get to see your husband whenever you want in prison.
Right. I mean,
my son is dead.
But like, yeah, he like definitely should have gone to jail because he like did
a treason.
Yeah,
he did a treason.
He did a treason. But like, yeah, the feminism aspects are like very strong, and they're all strong. And the arc of the story wasn't like, are you a strong woman, right? Like,
no, it's like, can you get over your loss?
Right.
Yeah, it's not about Shuri becoming like a powerful woman. It's about Shuri like getting over the death of her brother.
They're all already self-confident. So like,
yeah, that's why I think he's gonna get a pass.
Yeah.
You know why? Actually, you know what's the real reason why?
I'm scared.
It was written by a man. That's why.
Who wrote it?
Ryan Coogler. And
he also wrote it?
Yeah, he writes and I don't know if he's like the only writer, but I think there's another name there.
So we looked up Ryan Coogler's age. Yeah,
he's like
yesterday.
not much older than us.
He is 36, which means he probably did Black Panther when he was like in his 20s or 30. And I literally can't even imagine having that much money and like control
Creed's
over
good.
Such a big project.
I haven't seen it, but Fruitvale Station's apparently good.
He
works with Michael B. Jordan a lot. So
he does work with Michael B. Jordan a lot.
Was She-Hulk was showrunner a woman?
No. I'll look it up.
Would you feel upset if the show that was run by women,
I wrote
She-Runner, was not as good of a female thing in the MCU as Black Panther, which was written and directed by a man?
No.
No?
Written by 3 people, 2 of which are women and sisters.
So
or married.
Oh,
they have the same last name.
So what is that? That doesn't bother you?
I mean, it's
You're
like
not even listening.
It's like upsetting that like like women couldn't do better.
Why can't She-Hulk be better? So I guess remember we complained about She-Hulk, like it sucks that like this is the female thing for the
Yeah.
MCU. Like this is the best you can
No,
do.
this is it.
Now you can
everyone.
ignore She-Hulk if
Yeah.
you are looking for Black Panther Wakanda Forever is now like the new
Is the woman
good
show.
gold standard
Yeah.
for like not a movie, it's a show, it's a movie.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry.
My next note, having blue water people in this movie so close to the new Avatar was dumb. Though they didn't need to be blue. Why are they blue?
So I'm going to agree with you, but
No, but
the Gen Z.
why? How does it have to do with Gen Z? How you bring them up all the time?
They definitely
Why?
haven't seen Avatar. They're definitely not making that connection.
Right, but literally everybody else is, including Disney, who owns Avatar.
That's probably why they're
Are
like,
they blue in the comics?
They're probably like, Disney's like, we need to remind people of Avatar.
And then like when they're underwater, I don't know if it was like the lighting underwater, but then they weren't blue underwater.
I think they were always blue. I think you're being.
I'm blue.
Oh my God,
My
Gino,
thing is going
stop.
out. No, I don't think you can hear on the mic. Sorry, my iPad.
I
started
can
playing
hear in
video.
my
You can hear it in the
headphones.
headphones. Yeah, but I don't think you can hear it on
Didn't
the mic.
like it.
Anyway, like I'm gonna look it up.
He's gonna look it up. I mean that part didn't bother me, but like because who thinks about Avatar? If you think about Avatar still and you're excited for this new Avatar movie, please message us because like I have no desire to see it. I also don't want to see this like pregnant woman like do things that I as a pregnant woman like definitely can't do. Like I don't need to see a pregnant woman doing extra and
Who was
fighting
pregnant
in
and
battle.
doing stuff?
Are you serious? The Avatar lady, like, is pregnant.
Oh, but she's a different species.
Yeah, but I don't want to see her like fighting in a war when I could barely walk upstairs. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be a part of that.
Okay, so according to my research, yes, in the comics, the Atlanteans are blue.
Are they called Atlanteans in the Marvel Universe?
Yeah, they didn't call them Atlanteans here. They called, because and we're going to talk about this soon. They're very heavily influenced in this movie on like the Mayas and like Mexican culture, which is awesome.
Mayans.
Okay, so that was dumb. No blue people, please. Just remake the movie, make them not blue. They're also not Atlanteans because like they're like not a separate species.
No, they live
they're like,
and they don't live in Atlantis.
right. So
They live in Talocan.
In this movie, there was like another vibranium plant in the Americas that they ate, and it turned them into fish people, and they just live underwater. And then Namor was born as like the first baby from them.
Can I talk about mine?
And in the comics, he's half Atlantean, half human, which I imagine they changed because that's too similar to. That's exactly the same as Aquaman.
He's still like, I guess he's not half human. He's just all mutant, really.
Yeah. Oh, but like, he was like mutated by that herb. So maybe,
Right.
yeah. So maybe that's how they do it.
One of my notes was about the pregnant scene. So like, I was nervous that her delivery underwater was going to be
Like
traumatic.
House of Cards, a House of Dragon.
Like House of Cards. Yeah, just like House of the Dragon. I was like, we're gonna see blood. We're gonna see awful things.
They didn't even show blood when people are getting stabbed in the water.
They didn't when oh no, that was in the first movie. Right. So I was just traumatized from House of the Dragon. So I'm glad that they got it over like real quick. Baby's born.
She got the epidural. She got the vibranium plant gave her an epidural. So
oh yeah, yeah. No pain.
Just came right out. Yep.
Farted out that baby in the water.
Can I say my last thing? So I mentioned this before, but the CGI in this movie is way better than the first Black Panther. We were watching the first Black Panther today, and that last fight scene with the trains is so bad looking. It looks like a PlayStation 3 game. It's so bad. And what did I say to you while we were watching that? What should they have done instead of that stupid train scene?
Not that train scene.
But do you remember what I said?
You said don't.
Why
do
do
the
I talk to
train
you?
scene.
Why do I talk? Like I should just stay quiet for the entire.
It's really
marriage.
cute that he thinks I listen to him less than he listens.
I mean,
to
like
me.
whatever. We only do a podcast about comic book movies. It'd be nice if you remembered stuff. Fine. What I said was they should have just taken Michael B. Jordan and
I put him in a suit.
what's the other guy's name? I forgot. T'Challa. What's his name?
Chadwick Boseman.
Chadwick Boseman. Put them in a suit, not a CGI suit, a real suit,
I listen.
and have them beat each other up in a field somewhere.
That's what I said.
And that's it. That's what they should have done. And how'd they end this movie? They took Namor and they took Shuri in a suit and they put them on a beach somewhere and they just beat each other up. And I don't think there was a lot of CGI at all.
There had to have been CGI.
But I think they were physically on set as opposed to the first Black Panther where they stapled their face onto a CGI body.
Okay.
So like they were physically there punching each other on a beach. Perfect. That's what I wanted. That's what they did. So if you didn't like, and the famous thing about that Black Panther scene is in the first movie, apparently they had that scene done already, like before Ryan Coogler even like finished his script. Because so the way Marvel does this is like the directors only do like the dialogue scenes, and then all the action is like done in advance.
Yeah, but they talk during that scene.
So they'll add stuff in, but like the
okay.
CGI is already being done. So like that scene was probably already like mostly done by the time Ryan Coogler was even there, or like the ideas for it were. And I guess they took a lot of that criticism to heart, like how bad that scene looked. So this ending scene was way better. They're just punching each other on a beach. And they punched each other really hard, and then they stabbed each other, and it was great. That's all I wanted. No stupid CGI stuff. I'm like enough CGI. Just punch each other.
Hands are up.
Punch each other, please.
Okay, great.
He punched a girl. I just realized that now.
Black Panther.
Yeah, she has a Black Panther powers. All right, that's it for me. I'm done.
So one of the things.
Turn off the mic.
That's why it's going to be 2 hours because Gino gets 1 hour.
Oh,
Toby
we're
gets 2
definitely
hours.
at least at an hour already. Where are we?
I don't know.
40 minutes.
40 minutes. Let's
it's gonna be
see.
a long
20 more
episode.
minutes. So I just want to also say hats off to Ryan Coogler for the direction of this movie, like giving time to both cultures so that is my first note. It was just like the cultural like dichotomy between Wakanda and Talocan. I'm sorry, I can't
You got
say
it.
right.
No, you got it. I didn't
okay.
remember. Talocan, yeah, okay.
Well, I already looked it up.
Oh, good job.
Because I was like, blah, blah, blah. And just showing like capital city of Wakanda and like what life looks like, and also seeing Talocan and going underneath and showing Shuri was just, and like every time you were in a different place, they played different music. So they'd play like African inspired music when they were talking about Wakanda, and they'd play like Mexican, like Latin American music when they were doing stuff there. So like that was really awesome.
I like the dichotomy of like them both being places on Earth that were colonized.
Yeah.
And like how they both dealt with that, where like Wakanda dealt with it by shutting themselves off, yada, yada, yada. And like Namor's people dealt with it by like burning down a house of a bunch of slave people.
Yeah, but only one time. They were mostly hidden.
And then like spending the next 500 years like preparing to like take over the world.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we don't actually talk about that, like his plan.
Yeah.
Right? Like he wants to take over the world.
He's basically has the same plan as Killmonger in the first movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Which honestly, people with that kind of power, I don't see why they wouldn't. Right? Because
Yeah, honestly, Namor could just do it by himself. He's like stronger than, right? The Eternals are gone. Who is the strongest him on Earth? Bruce Banner? Hulk. Yeah, that's probably it. And apparently he's beaten the Hulk before, so just do it yourself.
Yeah, but what if somebody rips off all of his wings? His feet wings.
Oh, I don't even have wings on my feet.
Honestly,
did that hurt?
And Shuri like holds it up, and I was like, "Is that his bone?"
It's his freaking. She's like, it looked like a little chicken, wing.
It did look like a little.
Like a little. Ugh.
Yeah, no,
like
that was tough. So that was.
Yeah, the cultural stuff is like I really like, because you don't see a lot of like that Mayan culture in a lot of stuff. So I liked that they're, in the same way that the first Black Panther really showed, like Wakanda has like a lot of African inspired culture from all over Africa. They kind of put together into like Wakanda. I like that the culture of Namor is different, and it's not just like some boring elf-looking guy from in the comics.
Right, they were even playing like a Mayan game, like that ball.
Yeah, the ball game, which I remember from that movie with the two white dudes find the city of gold.
Yeah,
what's that movie?
It's Road to El Dorado.
Yeah.
I freaking love that movie. You know who played the two freaking guys from Latin America? White men.
Yeah, duh. Toby, it was the 90s.
I know, but oh God, I love that movie so much.
It's fine.
I had such a crush on the brown
I
hair
just
guy.
remember they threw the ball.
Yeah, they played. Then it was an armadillo. Very cute.
That's cool. I like that a lot. I think it's just like more different. Stuff. More diversity.
Like honestly, finally, we're seeing diversity.
Yeah,
and it's like, but I guess maybe if we saw more movies, we'd experience more diversity.
If we saw more movies from like other parts of the world besides America, yes.
Which I do. That's my
from all the white people countries like Scandinavia and like France.
No, there's a really scary what's the genie?
Jin?
A Jin, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a really scary Jin movie.
From what?
India.
Oh, from Bollywood?
No, I don't think it's Bollywood, but like it's an Indian movie.
Okay.
About a Jin that's like quite scary. On
Fine. You got one, Toby. You got one.
Yeah,
But
I got one.
it's like, again, and I can see idiots complaining about like, cultural diversity. But like, it makes the story better. It makes the character more interesting. So that's why it's good. Like, it's good. Like Namor who is a fan of Namor in the comics? No one, right? So making what is just a bunch of boring blue people in the comics a more interesting cultural thing is just more interesting and better. And also like, is it like almost like a dark reflection of what Wakanda could have been.
Right?
So like,
Absolutely.
yeah, good job, Ryan Coogler.
And you're getting like a history lesson all in one.
Of a not real history.
Of real history because like Latin American people were like enslaved.
Oh, sure,
so,
that
like,
part, yes. But not like the blue, not blue plant.
We
plant
don't
blue
have
people.
mermen?
Yeah, I know, I wish.
Honestly, I immediately knew so in that first scene, right, where they're like in the so good, by the way, where they're like mining for the they found the vibranium, and then you hear the singing, and I'm like, are we dealing with mer people?
Yeah.
No, so dark.
So like they can sing and like make people jump to their death.
Yeah, that's a siren mermaids.
Song, yeah.
That's what mermaids do. So like I didn't know anything going in other than Namor, you've told me was like the Aquaman.
Yeah.
I didn't realize
he has weird
wings for
on his feet.
I didn't realize that he was like Aquaman in the sense that he had a civilization as well.
I guess I didn't remember that either.
I thought he was just a one-off guy.
Yeah.
So like, but that singing was just like,
yeah, that part's kind of dark. You're right.
Yeah, that was real dark. I was like, wow, a lot of people died in this movie.
Yeah, a lot of people died in this movie. Not a lot of blood, but a lot of people died.
No, a lot of people died. Would you like to say my next notes or do you want me to say them?
Next note you said music was on point.
No. We got to skip that because I already did the last two
Toby
things.
cried 4 times, said that already. Deny?
I don't know why you bother. I don't know why I bother.
Deny?
Michonne. Okoye.
Call her by the character. Okoye, yes. Okoye was great. We said that already.
Her real name is Deny.
Oh.
Yes. So then we talked about Shuri.
We said that already.
Yep. Sorry.
Angela Bassett.
Oh.
We talked about U.S. Tech and Wakanda.
Relax. I'm reading it quickly too. M'Baku, my king. Is he the king now?
Well, we don't see he like challenge like so. Shuri doesn't challenge for the throne because she goes to Haiti to go be with
Nakia.
So she sends M'Baku instead. So unless someone tried to beat up M'Baku, then he's the king. So.
Which I love. I love that he's like on the council and he's like opening up his caves, his cold caves to all the people.
Yeah, it sucks because like part of what made T'Challa and Black Panther such a cool character is like that he is a king. So like it's almost like no one person could replace Black Panther and T'Challa. So now it's like basically like 2 people are replacing him. Like Shuri is now Black Panther. M'Baku is now the king.
Yeah.
But like part of what made him such a cool character is that he was both.
I know.
And he's married to Storm. With the
in real life?
In the comics.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she marries Storm for like a while.
How do they meet?
I don't know. They're superheroes. They're
I'd love to hear that. So
They're in the Avengers at some point.
What do you mean? But him too?
The Avengers and the X-Men fight all the time.
I guess they could have met in like Endgame.
Yeah, but there's no Endgame.
I mean, not in this universe.
Yeah, but like they've been around for like 100 years since like the third.
They have like a Avengers luncheon.
No, but sometimes they're in the Avengers, sometimes they're in the X-Men, whatever.
Why aren't you gonna yes and me and say like think of a fun story for them?
I'm so bad at this.
Gave him an opportunity.
They met at a mixer.
Thank you.
There you go. They met at a mixer.
The singles Avengers
mixer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, and God, I'm so good at this.
That was a test. You failed.
I failed. Sorry, you're supposed to be the funny one.
I am the funny one. Remember it all. Okay, so loved M'Baku. And we even said when we were watching Black Panther, we're like, I hope he's in this.
I was like, I hope he's like definitely in this more.
He's definitely in it, and it was nice that like he didn't end up with a love relationship.
I was waiting for that. I was waiting for them to start making out, and I was like, don't do it. Don't do it. And they didn't do it.
There was a lesbian kiss. Did you catch it?
I caught it because I love how you wrote here. There was a lesbian kiss. No one cared because it's normal, aside from me, who looked directly at you. And I was like, so, like, obviously, some people cared. Me.
I mean, you didn't care. You were just like, I wonder who will care.
Yeah, I guess. But, like, sure. two gorgeous women who are kissing
I
each
think
other.
more of it was like
Supermodel women with spears.
I think more of it was like Dora Milaje hooking up.
Yeah, like that's obviously they can't be allowed, right?
You guys are both warriors. What are you doing?
Yeah, I guess it happens in the military all the time.
I guess, and they're also not like Knights of the Guard, like King's Guard, where they like can't do
they're just like
anything.
really good with kicking people's butts.
Right?
Yeah.
So that was like that was
Yes.
fun.
So no one responded except for me.
Except for Gino, who looked at me, and I was like,
"Ah."
I was like, they're in love.
Yeah.
And the backstory was really interesting, like finding out where Namor came from, and I thought that was also we talked about, but like critical to understanding him as a character.
It's what makes him a great villain.
Right. And that's also what made me like, God, at the end, Gino said I was grabbing him every time. Like when Namor was about to die or looked like he was going to die, I was like, no.
Oh,
no. So it was like really great. And then finally, Shuri. Oh, the fact that Shuri saw King.
Oh, yeah. We
Right?
didn't talk about that.
I
When
almost
she
called
took
him
the herb.
Kingpin.
He was the king. When she took the herb, obviously they can't have her see T'Challa because Chadwick was dead. So she took the herb and she was so filled with like anger and hate.
Right. And she didn't see her mom. She didn't see her dad.
She saw Killmonger.
Her
Michael B.
cousin.
Jordan showed back up. Yeah, he's so good.
And that was so good. And I was wondering, because like you can see in the scene, like there's like something like and it looks like Angela Bassett's like hat or what, sorry, that was whatever she wear, like
Her crown thing.
Her crown, yeah. And then it's freaking Killmonger, and I was like, oh, they brought him back.
Yeah, and he was great in this.
I know, for like the 5 seconds he was on.
Yeah, I don't know if Ryan Coogler's ever made a movie without Michael B. Jordan in it. I think he's in every movie.
Do you think it's like the
like
Johnny
best
Depp
friends.
to his
Tim
Burton?
Burton? God, I hope not.
They're a better pair.
But yeah,
pair.
that was an awesome scene because it's like, well, your dad was a bad guy and I'm a bad guy and your brother was like a
too
big
noble.
softy and too nice.
Right, so who you gonna be?
So you're gonna be. So that was awesome. Good job, Michael B. Jordan. I was 110% sure that they were gonna bring him back in this movie alive. Because I'm like,
no.
They showed him flop over. They didn't show him dead.
I guess he was wearing the Black Panther.
He was wearing the Black
suit.
Panther suit, so like she survived getting stabbed through the chest, so
Right,
like
so
he
why
should
wouldn't
survive getting
he?
stabbed through the chest. But I guess he didn't. He's dead.
He did.
So he's like dead. Now that we confirmed he's dead because he was in the ancestral plane. So he's dead.
Right.
But that was a great scene. And like finally, as Shuri's about to kill Namor, because she like lit him on fire with a ship.
I know.
And she like brought him to a beach in like the desert so he would like lose his water powers.
Science teachers, diffusion high five.
Oh, they said diffusion.
Diffusion.
Bringing it up in class. Why don't you do the diffusion through a membrane lab?
1,000,000%. I'm
Anyone
doing that
else
this
who's a
week.
New York State living environment teacher knows exactly what lab I'm talking about. They said diffusion. They're talking about oxygen.
They said it.
They said it diffuses through his skin. I'm bringing it up. High five again. Can I bring up a criticism of science in this movie?
Of course you can.
God damn it. Which I don't think I'm allowed. Do I have to bleep that out? God damn
No,
it.
I don't
No?
think so.
Because they bleep it out in shows.
Would you like to?
They bleep out the God, but not the damn it.
I mean, like,
You
you're
can't say
not
both.
going
I'm not
to.
going to bleep it out. No, well, you don't say the F word. That's pretty much it. Okay, so there's Shuri is trying to create a new herb, a new heart-shaped herb, because Killmonger burned all of them in the first movie, and then Chadwick Boseman's character was dying of some disease, and like I guess that would have cured him. But she couldn't figure it out, and she has this big model of DNA that she's like running through, moving around different molecules, whatever. She keeps moving around the molecules from the outside of the DNA double helix, which if anybody knows anything about DNA, that's not where all the information is. The genetic information is in the middle part.
Right.
The nitrogenous bases, that's where all the information is.
Right.
Adenine, thymine,
Remember?
guanine, and cysteine.
Right. ATCG, guys.
Not in the outside part. That's
Nope.
just the sugar
The
phosphate group.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Oops. we both passed our license problems.
Listen.
So that's not where the information is. That's just kind of like the support structure.
Right. Like the information is in the pairings that are going to code for proteins.
Right.
Right. So, like, that's not what's important. She keeps taking the big balls. Like, take the little ones.
Yeah, exactly. It's like imagine you had a hard drive, and instead of like changing the data on your hard drive, you're just like taking the cover off the hard drive and
Right,
like
and you're
moving
like,
it around
"This
and
is
putting the cover
different."
back on. Like it's the same thing. Or like taking the cover off your book and like moving that
Right.
part.
And now
Like,
it's a different book.
and now it's exactly. But like you didn't change anything in the information.
No.
So like whatever science you said diffusion, but you couldn't figure out where the DNA is.
And wait, and also my zoology. So it said, I looked it up. Humpback whales can only swim 500 to 700 feet below the surface. How far do you think they were?
Very deep.
Yeah.
Did they say?
Who?
Did they say in the movie how deep they were?
No.
What's the city?
It's like quite deep. Talocan.
She had to wear like a goofy suit.
Oh, so goofy.
Yeah.
But yeah, like these humpback whales are not swimming that low, and also they only stay under. They said like at most 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like they're living under there. Where are you keeping them?
0 out of 10.
0 out of 10
0
on
out of 10.
science
This movie sucks. Don't watch it. It's a crappy movie. They get a couple bonus points for saying diffusion, but the rest of the movie sucks now because the whales were not in the right spot and they moved the DNA wrong. So 0 out of 10.
Boo.
Boo this movie. We take back everything nice we said.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I scared the cat.
Oh, yeah, wait. The whole freaking movie's Black Panther, and our black cat is not coming over.
I know, right?
This movie's literally about you.
It's because Gino put a blanket on the couch and she wouldn't scratch it, and now it's her favorite thing. Sorry, that first freaking the chase scene was so good. All I kept thinking in the beginning in the MIT in Boston. When they're like,
oh yeah,
she's in her Iron Man suit, Shuri.
Fake Iron Man suit. Shuri's at the motorcycle,
and you have Okoye in the car.
Yeah,
it was just like
not as good as Winter Soldier's car chase scene. That's like the best one, but
but like this was like happier. Like that was a scary one.
Yes,
this is like a happy one.
But
like,
they did the same thing where like they got away and then the car blew up.
I know.
They did literally the exact same thing from Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
where like he gets away, but then a small little bomb goes under his car and then blows up. Yeah. I was like, Is it Bucky? Is Bucky back?
Is Bucky coming?
No, it was a water bomb. It was water people. They were blue.
So good.
I like little little rivalry that Okoye had with the main fish guy.
Main fish guy, and then they both survive. Yeah.
Yeah, they both lived to the end.
She kicks him off.
Yeah, I don't think he died though.
She did say, "Go see your ancestors."
Yeah, and then she goes to save Martin Freeman from his ex-wife.
Oh yeah, that happened too. We didn't talk about that.
I was hoping like U.S. Agent was going to show up because she showed up or something. Just something to...
Do you think though this is how
the Thunderbolts happen?
Yeah, because like they literally just stole, like Wakanda stole Martin Freeman, a CIA,
and stole. I guess they're giving her back, Riri Williams.
Right, they're giving Riri Williams back, but like this is going to piss the CIA off that they just stole a prisoner of the CIA.
Send in the Thunderbolts.
Woo!
Yeah, and now it's Harrison Ford instead of the guy that because that guy died, the actor who plays Thunderbolt Ross, so they got Harrison Ford.
I think you did tell me about this. I'm in.
Give him so much money.
I'm in
for that.
So much money.
All right, so 0 out of 10 for not using DNA right.
Oh, and then my last note.
It's like 9 hours.
Sorry, my last note. Gino's gonna hate this last note. But when Namor like attacked Wakanda and then pulled all of his people back, he's like, "You have 1 week before I come back. Like, bury your dead, mourn your dead, make a decision." And I was like, "Where have I heard that before?" And it was Harry Potter. Does
Voldemort say it?
Yeah, Voldemort says it in that last big battle. Like all these people die. Obviously, like this when the one Weasley dies, like Lupin and whatever die, and then he's like, "I'm gonna be back in like 1 hour." Like he gives them no time. And he says it there. So I was like, "Oh, must be a tactic." I like it. And then I felt bad though. Namor got tricked twice. He got tricked once with Shuri because Angela Bassett was like, "I'm gonna talk to you," while Nakia goes and steals her.
Yeah, I mean he's not like smart.
And then he got tricked again when they're like, "Oh, someone's mining for vibranium again." And he's like, "Let's go find it.
Let's get him."
And then he got attacked again. It felt bad. He's
a bad guy.
Yeah, but he's been around for centuries. Shouldn't you be like a little keener?
Yeah. 0 out of 10.
0 out of 10.
Worst movie ever.
Never seen
for
it.
For worse. Don't watch it.
Oh my God, love.
I can't wait to read YouTube comments. Like I'm looking forward to it so much. While our video's uploading, I'm going on YouTube comments and being like,
send me some good ones and I'll repost them.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Okay, well that's it.
I'm gonna write some good ones.
You're not gonna write
0
any
out
good
of 10.
ones.
The DNA scene was wrong.
Well, that's it.
Yeah, I'm done.
That's it. Thank you for listening to For Better or Worse. If you like what you heard and you want to know more, visit our website for better or worse at buzzsprout.com and subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or whatever you listen to so you never miss an episode. Like and subscribe to our show on YouTube so you can see what we look like and let us talk about our cat. Look at other videos. You'll see her. She's there. Let us know what you think. Comment, leave a 5-star review, ring the bell.
Yeah, if you're a misogynist and you want to leave some bad comments here, like be my guest. Yeah, go ahead. I'll respond.
I would say the worst comments we see her on TikTok and I just ignore them.
Oh, no, yell at them.
I know, I can't.
Yeah, no, definitely yell at them.
Well, see you next time when we review more movies and TV. Bye.
Bye.